Gabon, following an announcement declaring incumbent President Ali Bongo as winner. South Africa concerned about the rising number of deaths related to mining incidents in the country. While scientists say at least 2 billion people are at risk of the Zika virus in parts of Africa and Asia. Hello everyone, welcome to the show. I am BC Adebayo. We continue our coverage of the violence in Gabon following the announcement of election results with Ali Bongo declared winner. Clashes have erupted in the capital city, Libreville, where 2 people were killed last night. Police have arrested as many as 1,000 people since violence began a few days ago. It all began with the main opposition rejected election results and disputing the high voter turnout in a major area said to be the stronghold of President Ali Bongo. They argue that a 99% voter turnout is impossible, though voting is compulsory in Gabon but not enforced. There were riots yesterday with people using tear gas to prevent crowds gathering at the National Assembly building, which protesters had set on fire earlier. President Bongo visited the ruins yesterday, saying an attack on the building was an attack on property belonging to the people of Gabon. The country's Interior Minister, Pacome Mobli, says that several television stations, supermarkets, shops and private homes had been looted in Libreville and the city hall was targeted. Meanwhile, yesterday, main opposition challenger Jinping called out to the international community to intervene in the situation in Gabon. His prayers have been answered as the UN Security Council has called for calm in the country, appealing to candidates and their supporters to avoid provocations and resolve any disputes by legal means. The UN says it's deeply concerned about the escalation of violence. Staying with that story, former colonial power France says Gabon's electoral law must prevail in the country. France's Prime Minister Manuel Valls told the news conference of French ambassadors in Paris that good sense, which means making sure the poll is transparent, respecting electoral law and calming the tensions which the president has spoken about, must win out against the temptation to resort to violence. And also reacting to the escalation of violence in Gabon is the United States. The U.S. Department spokesperson, John Kirby, said the United States deplored the situation.
We deplore the escalation of violence following the release of those results. It's a provisional election results by the government. We urge all parties to come together peacefully in this critical time to halt a slide towards further unrest. We call upon the security forces to respect the constitutionally guaranteed rights of all Gabonese citizens and of all residents of Gabon. The international community is watching these events closely and will consider appropriate actions.
Network Africa continues in a moment. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Network Africa. Let's turn to Zimbabwe now, where 70 people arrested last month for protesting against the government of President Robert Mugabe have been denied bail. One lawyers' rights group tweeted that only 10 of them are being charged with public violence over demonstrations last Friday. One journalist said those given bail include a journalist, security guards, a pregnant woman, the elderly, and some university students. There's also a protest going on in an area known as Little Mogadishu over the smashing of their stores. Police had over the night destroyed the desks that in the streets where they pile up all their goods. The protesters claim they've paid their taxes and authorities have acted illegally. The police operation follows complaints by shopkeepers who say they block entrances to malls. Their shops are again closed as part of their three-day protest, demanding that Nairobi City Council do something about the hawkers. South Africa is concerned that a number of deaths from mining incidents may be on the rise. This year, the death toll was 59 from 48 in the same period of 2015. Unions attributed the rise to a series of layoffs following languishing profits in the industry and the troubled economy, which have perhaps driven workers to take risks and lift production for fear of losing their jobs. Pakiso Matsamela recalls the day he lost the use of his legs, joining the long casualty list of the South African mining industry, whose accident rate is again climbing after years of improvement.
I was walking alone, going through where I work. I was looking for equipment that we had left there the day before, and I was busy wandering around. And then I heard a loud bang, the ground above me. As I was looking up to see where the sound came from, I immediately felt a sharp pain on my spine. It was a rock, and you can imagine when something that heavy falls on you, you have to shout for help. My co-workers came to my rescue and placed me on a stretcher.
That was in May 2009. And while no consolation to the paralyzed Matsamela, South Africa's mines were at the time gradually getting to grips with their appalling safety record. Nevertheless, the industry had been making great safety strides, with mining deaths falling for 8 straight years until this year. Today, those profits can be marginal.
Through the improvement in terms of the health and safety laws and enforcement of those laws, it does work. Ourselves also having the health and safety reps and health and safety committees also does contribute to this downtrend.
There's still more coming up on the program in a moment. Please stay with us.